1938. So, in case you can't calculate it, she was 4 years old. And she was promised by her parents a special birthday present. Me! I was born a day after, May 19th, 1938. So I look at it the other way, that I was born with a present of a big sister that I've had for so many years, and she is a pleasure. So, let me talk a little bit about Lefferts Avenue. That's where we grew up and we went to school. All of our school years through college, we lived and shared a room on Lefferts Avenue. Now, brothers and sisters will fight, right? A little bit. So we had our ridiculous arguments. Our room was divided in half. And I owned the heat. And the windows. But Arline had the light switch. Anyway, we were roommates for many years, and it ended when Charles came into her life. And she left to get married and join him in the Army in, what is it?
Aberdeen.
Aberdeen, Maryland. The Aberdeen Proving Grounds. And I got my own room. How did that happen? Anyway, I guess it ended okay because we were still talking at the end, and we have been since. So our fights went nowhere. Anyway, some things I remember that I want to share. Camp. We went to camp. Arline had hay fever, so we had to go to a place where she would be comfortable. And she went to a camp called Camp Shinawa, which, by the way, is still in business today, as far as I know. And I was a mile down the road at the boys' camp, Camp Balfour, which is not in business anymore. Anyway, she met somebody at camp who became very famous. And I want to mention the name and see. I'm going to ask anybody under 20, raise your hand if you recognize the name. She met somebody named Kiki. Anybody under 20 know who Kiki was?
We'll give you another
Tell them
name.
Kiki's family.
Our last name was Bader.
What?
Our last name was
Kiki
Bader.
Well, I didn't want to give them the second clue. So it's Kiki Beta. Now do you know who she was? She was very famous, very successful lawyer, represented women's rights her whole career, and of course was on the Supreme Court. And that, you know her as Ruth Bader Ginsburg. So Mom was on the camp. The camp was, by the way, I think it was owned by partial owned by her parents.
Her aunt and uncle.
Her aunt and uncle. Okay, so it's a family business.
Yeah.
And then next, I want to talk about. So I told you I just got my own room when she moved out. Well, I got a second room. My first job was at American Bosch Armor Company, which is in Garden City, New York. And when I joined the company, it was very close to where Arline and Charles had their first home, in East Meadow on Gary Street. So I took the job in the test department, and I volunteered to work what they called the graveyard shift. If anybody doesn't know what that is, it means you start working at 12 o'clock at night and you finish at 8 o'clock in the morning. You know, I did it because they paid you more money to do that. Anyway, I got out at 8 in the morning. I wanted to go to sleep. She provided sleeping quarters. And Marjorie called it Uncle Woody's room. which I lost to Lorraine. I'm sorry, my eyes aren't so good. All right. We've also had beach vacations every year in Long Beach, where Arline hosts us, and we get to go to Arlene's B&B in Long Beach, right on the beach. And we've been doing it for many years up to now. And it was delightful, always has been. I also remember lots of family gatherings and celebrations over the years. Arline, despite the fact that we lived in different cities, Arline always focused on keeping family connections the best they can be. And so we always made efforts to make sure the families knew each other, and that's why you're all here and celebrating this. So I'd like to actually do the toast right now. We celebrate a very significant milestone, 90 years. But what's also significant is Arline is 90 years old and has a very, I think, high quality of life. She lives independently. She can walk, not as quickly as you did a few years ago, but on her own. She can see good. She can hear better than me. She can think. She can remember things. So all qualities you might take for granted, but for a 90-year-old to live that quality of life is not easy. She also likes to go on vacation and trips, and she goes with her family a lot, but she also goes on her own to a lot of elder care and things like that. Or have been. I don't know if you're still doing that.
Did one last.
But she enjoys it. She's able to do it. She's got the strength and energy to do it. So it's, I would call a high quality of life at that age. So that's what I guess I would propose as what we are going to wish for her. We're going to wish that she have many more years and the same quality of life as good as God can give you. And here's to Arline, number 90.